Retired Lieutenant General Ben Hodges, now he's former commanding general of the U.S. Army in Europe. General, thanks. You were in charge of NATO Allied Land Command in 2014 when Putin annexed Crimea. Through that lens, how does the U.S. respond now?
Well, Kelly, I would say that up until now, the administration and our allies have had the right approach. But I have to say that I am disappointed at this. The first response are sanctions against the leaders of the so-called independent republics. I mean, that's not exactly something that's going to cause the Kremlin to freeze in their tracks. So I'm hoping that there's something else coming very quickly that will send a much stronger signal. This is not exactly what I think most of us were expecting.
What about Germany, the UK, France, NATO, the UN Security Council, where Russia has a veto? I mean, how do you see the rest of the world responding?
Well, excellent point. This is a gut check for the European Union. It's a gut check for NATO and all the other international organizations to which the United States belongs, but also Russia, of course, belongs to several of these. The Kremlin has demonstrated time and again that they have zero respect for any of these organizations or leaders. And today's order by the president of the Russian Federation is an example of the disdain. I mean, you and everybody else who was watching could see his face, just the absolute disdain and lack of respect he has for all of us. So that's why I think it's time for some decisive action. But if you'll allow me, you just showed the comment from Senator Cruz, and I think that half of the reason that President Putin feels like he can do what he's done is because of the vulnerability that we in the United States and some other countries have shown over the past several years. If we appear divided, and if we've got our own political leaders now attacking the president at such a critical time, this only emboldens the Russians. So I think it's time for American leaders to rally. And let's focus on the external threat instead of taking shots.
Ironically, General, the one thing everyone seems to agree on these days is America's isolationism. Whether it's the new right, the left, where are the voices that are going to be pushing for a more forceful response here?
Well, I'm doing my best, but I will say this, that the administration has, on day one, embraced the alliance, reminded all of our allies that the United States depends on allies. I mean, I have to say this has been the best diplomatic effort I've seen by the United States probably since 1995. I mean, and I hear this from Europeans all the time, that they have not seen the U.S. reach out like this in such a way. And I think that while this initial response is less than what I expected, we have heard the European Union say that they're going to invoke sanctions. And so I anticipate this is going to grow. But President Putin, what he's done, of course, he sort of took the middle ground. This is not the big, massive assault towards Kyiv that many were predicting, but it's a little more than just slow rolling things. So he's trying to kind of find that area where people will question, what should our response be?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.